This is the OTB Television Network, a service of Capital District Off-Track Betting.
Good morning and welcome to the Handicappers Report for this Tuesday morning. Seth Merrill from Equidaily.com, Mike Jarbo from the Albany Times-Union. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Seth. How are you today?
I was good until I heard the forecast on the way, and it looks like weather is supposed to return.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Here I am, the Storm King, right here.
That's right. And in fact, it's yet another jinx on Parks with Mike Jarbo in here on Tuesday. Parks not running today, but we'll be looking instead at, I had Turf Paradise scheduled already. No worries about weather down there, but Mike has shifted his attention to Sam Houston. So those are the tracks we'll be looking at today. Yesterday, and I didn't really watch the news, I guess, yesterday to see kind of weather totals for down in that New York, Philadelphia area, because New York and Parks both canceled yesterday due to weather. We had Andy Serling on Racing Across America probably about 10:30, and he was looking out his window then and saying there was probably already about 3 or 4 inches on the ground yesterday. So, and as I say, I never really heard final totals for down in that area, but obviously here in upstate New York, we haven't gotten anything, although starting tonight at midnight and going into about 6 o'clock on Wednesday, they're saying maybe 8 to 12 inches. So unfortunately, I was hoping winter was over as far as the snow, but no.
Well, in the early 80s, I guess 1981, I moved from the Philadelphia area to Syracuse. And I had never seen that much snow from being from that area. And I remember the first time it snowed, I took my family and we opened the curtains, and we all sat there and watched the snow. That was the first day. The second day, we were still sitting there watching the snow, and by the fourth day, we closed the curtains and said, that's enough. We've seen it.
Curtains didn't open up again until April 30th.
Yeah, exactly. And that seems to be what it's like in Philadelphia now. What a switch.
And having gone to school in Syracuse, I am well aware of that situation. Let's go back a little bit and get some of your thoughts on the weekend. Obviously, there were some nice 3-year-old races, the Sam Davis down at Tampa, over at Gulfstream, the Hutchison, and then in New York, the Withers. We've talked about it a little bit yesterday with Andy Serling, and Mike Penn also touched on this race, and everybody kind of agrees it was a real ding-dong battle. The two New York breds, Samrat and Uncle Si, kind of put on a real show all the way around the track with Samrat prevailing, but both lightly raced and both potentially have some nice upside potential on the Derby Trail.
I loved that race. That was my favorite race of the weekend. 2 state breds, who would think it, but they really, really put on a great show. There were no stopwatches broken in that race. If you saw the final time, it wasn't that great, but at the same time, all the way around the track, and Samrat finally got the advantage, and both were even money, too. I mean, so the bettors had it right, that was for sure.
Yeah, they were both $1.15 to $1 as far as the odds, but Uncle Si slightly the slight favorite in there, and it was a ding-dong battle, as stated. Andy Serling made the great point. Maybe some of these jockeys will pay attention a little bit and say, yes, you can use your speed and still be out there at the end and use your speed to a good advantage, as both of these horses were out there, and again, all the way around the track in some legitimate fractions. The final time, they hit the mile, it wasn't that great, but early on, 24:48, 1:12. So they were out there legitimately early, and then again, it slowed down a little bit late, but they had used their speed early to their advantage, opened up on the field, and the rest of the field just never caught up. I have said over the past couple of days, Scotland was a horse I was looking forward to, the Tony Dutrow runner, who was, a well-beaten third, just the way the race was run, though. I want to give Scotland maybe one more chance, and I'll be interested to see where they go now. Scotland's still a mate, so they still have plenty of options with this one, and I wonder if they'll step back and go to a more proper level, a maiden race, and just try to get his head screwed on again and get him a win. But I think Scotland, I still, as I said, I'm still maybe riding that one for another race or two to see what we have. But certainly, again, and I mentioned it yesterday, Mike Watchmaker's column, his weekend review column, talked about this Withers and called it something to the effect of theater, the great theater of racing, as they put on a good show. And then he took going through both Scotland and Classic Jack and Roll, and the horses they have faced most recently, and kind of went back and got the barometer to Cairo Prince. The Samrat and Uncle Si come out with legitimate buyer figures, and then if you get those common foes kind of things through those other horses, they stack up pretty decently. So we'll see. You know, is the February 1st stakes race on the Inner Aqueduct going to put a couple of legitimate contenders on the Derby trail? Possibly.
State breds.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
Hats off to the New York
Hats off
bred
to the
program.
industry.
Yeah,
Yep.
no question about it. And speaking of Samrat and Uncle Si, the Kentucky Derby Future Pool number 2 comes out. Now, don't forget, Future Pool 1 this year was that interesting version they had back in, what was it, November or December? It was 2-year-olds. It was 2-year-olds. And they'd never done that before. So this is kind of the traditional opening pool, although it is Pool 2. And I bring it up because Samrat's morning line on Derby Future Pool 2, 30-1, Uncle Si, 50-1. And as expected, as has been with what was traditionally the first pool, this February pool, all others is the 7-5 morning line favorite. The lowest price on the morning line for individuals, Cairo Prince, no surprise there. Right behind, Cairo Prince is 8-1 on the morning line in the future pool. Right behind Honor Code and Shared Belief at 10-1. The future pool opens up on the 6th of this month and closes on the 8th, so that'll be at the end of this week. Kentucky Derby Future Pool wager number 2. And Mike, Honor Code at 10-1, Shared Belief at 10-1. I would not take a piece of either of those with that. With the proverbial other people's money, 2 horses that are a little dinged up and have yet to prove they're going to be on the trail. 10-1, wow.
Well, the thing is with the future pool, if you're a believer, you can get some real value in the future pool. So if you're a believer in those 2, fine, go do it. But yeah, you'll get a pretty good price.
Yeah, I'm looking around for horses that price-wise I would be interested in, and Conquest Titan off of that nice effort last time at 30-1. That horse could be interesting. Indianapolis, the lightly raced Baffert horse, all kinds of potential, but 20-1, that's dicey to me. I'm looking for 30-1 or more. Midnight Hawk is at 20-1. Midnight Hawk will be back in this week out at Santa Anita, so we'll get a little bit more of a barometer on that one. Noble Moon at 30-1. It's just that there aren't too many that are jumping. Top Billing at 15-1. There aren't too many that are jumping off the page to me that I'm interested in this early at these prices. But as the weekend goes along, the prices might start to shake out where the betting, and I'm going to be interested to see where the betting public does go on Honor Code and Shared Belief with these horses having some little dings, as I say. Will the betting public kind of shift away or just kind of be attracted and say, at 10-1, I'm willing to take. It's a dicey proposition this early with horses that are now facing maybe some problems and some setbacks. So we'll see where the betting public goes. But Cairo Prince, 8-1 on the morning line, won't shock me at all if that floats down a little bit. Not too much, perhaps, but if that one floats down a little bit. But I do think by the time the betting closes, all others. At this point in February, all others is still going to get a lot of attention.
I've only once cashed a futures bet. And I'm not gloating here, but I'm just going to tell you I got 63-1 on the horse. Can you guess who it was?
Giacomo?
Funny Side.
Oh, nice. Very good, very good. And that's the thing about, and I bring up Giacomo because I had a future pool wager on Giacomo at I think 50-1. But then Derby Day, I think he was higher.
He was higher. You lost out. You got the.
I bet him Derby Day too, but it's kind of like, oh man, I bet 3 months ago and I'm getting less than I'm getting today. So, but when you cash for $100, you can't be too.
No complaints with that.
You can't cry too much. All right, again, we're going to take a look at Turf Paradise a little later on, but we will kick things off with the handicapping with Sam Houston for this morning. Again, Parks has canceled, another weather cancellation. Boy, it has been rough for them. I feel for the people down at Parks. You made a great point last week. Just the people, concessionaires and those kind of people.
Concessions, the mutual tellers.
Yeah,
the security guards. These people are all. I'm sure they don't. Most of them don't have any kind of stipulation where they get paid when the track is closed.
Probably hourly.
So
people.
I mean, here it is after the holidays. Credit card bills are coming in. And they get calls say, don't come to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just really sad.
It's rough. All right, let's take a look at Sam Houston for this afternoon. The opener is an allowance event 4-year-olds and up, and they will go 3/4 of a mile. And it looks like Arabians in here.
Arabians. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know, I will tell you flat out, I don't know too much about Arabian racing. So I called a friend of mine who's a professional player in Las Vegas, and I said, what do I do with this Arabian race? And he said, with the Arabians, always take the speed. That's what this guy told me. So what I did was I picked the closer to win the race. I'm going 2-3-6 in this race. I'm putting Sergeant Pepper on top, and I think this one gets major class relief today, and ran well late in the last versus optional claimers. If you look back a few races, do a little archaeology, and I'm looking for this one to make a big late run against the speed in here. This one has a 7 for 8 in the money at the distance, and has 3 wins at the distance. So I'm putting this one on top. That's Sergeant Pepper, the 2. In the second spot, I'm going to Lil Wayne A, the 3, who's been freshened up, which may help this one. This one tired in the last at an allowance level, and finished behind my 3rd pick in this race in a big field. Showed some speed in that one, and if you look 2 back in November, raced on the lead and put in pretty good effort at 9-5. So we're going to put Little Wayne A second in this spot. And in the 3rd spot, we're going to the 6, Zell's Bells, who gets 5 pounds in this race as a bug rider. The second to a repeater in the last effort, and was wide in a big field in that one, and maybe gets a better trip today. So we're going to see this as 2-3-6 in the first at Sam Houston.
Race number 2 at Sam Houston this afternoon. It is a state-bred conditional claimer, claiming tag $7,500, condition, non-winners of 3 lifetime. These are fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. They'll go a quick 5.5.
2, 5, and 3 in this one. We're going to take Fairways Dancer on top, who takes a class drop today from Allowance Company. And if you look at the race 2 back, now, mind you, this was on turf. This one made an enormous move at 17-1 to get the victory with a different rider. And last out, moved up in class and just didn't like the class rise. Ran way back at 46-1. Gets significant class relief today, and I think that's going to help this one get to the wire. So we're going to put the 2, Fairways Dancer, on top. In the second spot, we're going to take the 5, Lunar Force, who advances in condition today after a win at 5-2 last out. And once again, doing some archaeology, last time at this distance, ran a decent time and finished second by a head. And that was way back in April, but that was the last time this one ran at that distance. She's mainly faced state breds in her career. Let's see if we can get this one up for second. So that's the 5, Lunar Force, for second. And in the 3rd spot, we're going to go to the 3, Lil Wayne A, who's been freshened up, tired in the last start, and I'm hoping the freshening will help. And we'll see how that goes with that one. So 2-5-3 in the what race is this? Second. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about that snowstorm. Second is Sam Houston.
Race number 3 at Sam Houston this afternoon. State-bred maids, made special weight event. These are, again, Texas-bred 3-year-olds going 1.70 miles.
5, 3, and 1 in this race. A special command I'm going to put on top, who ran a good race in the mud last out. Finished 3rd, beaten 2.5 lengths. That was a decent effort at even money. And the weather forecast for Houston makes it look like this one might get similar conditions today. So despite the class rise back to maiden specials, we're going to put this one on top to break the maiden in the 6th start. In the 2nd spot, we're going to go to the 3, Sarda Lucky, who is a wire threat in this race, showed really good speed last time and got nailed right near the wire at 8-5. So with that speed, especially if the track comes up off, we might see a pretty good effort off at this one. And in the 3rd spot, we're going to the 1, Overspent. Goes second off layoff today, takes a class rise, and shows some pretty good races, especially the good performance 2 back at 4-5. So we're going to go 5-3-1 in the 3rd at Sam Houston.
Race number 4 this afternoon is a plain vanilla claiming event. Claiming tags $10,000. These are fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. Scheduled to go on the grass, a mile and a 16th.
Well, we're scheduled to go on the grass, but I don't know. The weather situation looks kind of dicey down there in Texas today. And if this one comes off the grass, this is going to be a real mess because not a single one of these horses has ever won on a wet track. They're 0 for 16, so there's going to be very little to go on if this one comes off the turf. But if it stays on the grass, we're going to go with a 4 Dominica on top. One has been off since November and won at this level back in October out of town, and is 6 for 16 on the grass, which is significant because only one other horse in here has ever won on the grass. This one has 6 victories on the grass out of 16 tries. So we're going to take Dominica on top, the 4. We'll go to the 6 for second, Mi Tormento. And this one made a pretty nice late move, splitting horses to get up in a blanket finish last out. Try straight claimers today and non-winners of 3. And based on, it's been around this condition a while, but I think she can get a piece of this one. And in the 3rd spot, we'll go to Aggie Friend, who gets major class relief today and is the only other one in here with a turf win. This one is 1 for 29 on the grass. But somebody has to finish 3rd, folks, and we're going to take Aggie Friend to finish 3rd. 4, 6, 5, and the 4th, it's Sam Houston.
5th at Sam Houston this afternoon, yet another conditional claiming event. Claiming tags 7,500, condition non-winners of 3 lifetime. These are 4-year-olds and up. They'll go a mile and 70.
8, 7, 1 in this race. We're going to put the 8 Too Much Duck on top, 9 to 2 morning line on this one. This one returns to open company today. And if you look 2 back, this one ran a really, really good one at the non-winners of 2 level, claiming level. That was a resounding win in an off-the-turf race. The surface was good. It wasn't muddy, but also, if you look at the this one's last effort was 9 to 5, went up at 9 to 5 and finished 2nd to a repeater. So we're gonna put Too Much Duck on top, and in the 2nd spot we're going to go to the 7 Divided Nation, who 2 back was necked at 22 to 1, and last out, it got a little freshening after that for a month and a half. Last out finished 2nd, beaten 3 3¾ lengths. And both those races were pretty good. I'm a little concerned that this one's a little bit of a hanger. Has 4 second-place finishes out of 8 tries at this distance. The 3rd spot, we will go inside to the 1 Midtown Groom, who had the stable jock in for the last race. Didn't do much. Gets a different rider today. Was pressed in the last race and might be able to hold together a little bit in a field with less pace today. 8, 7, 1 in the 5th at Sam Houston.
All of which brings us to our first break. When we come back, we'll continue our look at Sam Houston a little later on Turf Paradise. Stay tuned. The Handicappers Report continues. I'm Seth Merrill. Join me weekdays at 10 for Racing Across America. We'll look at important races from around the country, get insight from top handicappers and analysts, and preview the upcoming week in racing. That's Racing Across America, weekdays at 10, right here on the OTB TV network. The Capital OTB Handicapping Challenge Series is back. That's right. The 2014 Capital OTB Handicapping Challenge Series is back, and it's your chance to win thousands in cash and prizes, and a seat at the 2015 Handicapping Championship in Las Vegas. This month's contest is the Shamrock Showdown on March 1st. So sign up today, online at capitalotb.com, or stop in at the Clubhouse Racebook.
I got it. Watch me. I got it. Hey! I got something that makes me want to shout. I got something that tells me what it's all about. I got a move that tells me what to do. If you don't, brothers and sisters, then you won't know what it's all about.
Funding your Capital OTB bet account is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Easy Money. Clearly the fastest and easiest method of depositing funds into your account. Make deposits or withdrawals in just minutes. 2. Green Dot Money Pack. Gives you instant access to your funds. Green Dot Money Packs are available at thousands of retailers nationwide. And 3. MasterCard Visa. Simply click on the link from the funding page, enter your account information, and fund your account. CapitalOTBBet.com. Log on today.
Hey race fans, head down to the all-new Clubhouse Racebook. With live horse racing on more than 250 flat-screen TVs, state-of-the-art wagering terminals, and amazing Vegas-style atmosphere. The Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report. Seth Merrill and Mike Jarbo in here on this Tuesday morning. We will continue now our look at Sam Houston with their race number 6. It's a starter allowance at the $7,500 level, 4-year-olds and up. Again, scheduled on the grass, mile and 16.
I'm going 5-7-6 in here, and the 5, my top pick, Little Wagon. You absolutely have to love a horse like this. This is an 11-year-old gelding making his 70th start. This one has 40 in the money finishes on grass. And how can you not absolutely love a horse like this? This is a real hard-knocking campaigner. And I'm going to take this one on top. This one shortens up after going 1.5 miles in December. And really didn't do much in that race. But I think shortening up might be to this one's advantage. Has 6 wins at this distance and had a ton of trouble in that race and got some time off. So in the 70th start, I'm seeing Little Wagon is getting to the wire first. 5-1 morning line on this one, folks. And in the second spot, I'm going to go to the 7 Deputy Former. And this one is this one's a son of Silver Deputy out of a Dynaformer mare, and that's a pretty interesting breeding to me. That I think that breeding also says this one could run well on a wet track too. This one has 3 wins at the distance, 6 wins on turf out of 30 tries, and this one has some pretty good races. Ran last time out, didn't do a whole lot, but that was a key race where the top 3 finishers came back to win back. So if you look 2 back, and this one ran in a handicap, starter handicap, and won, and beat a next out winner. So we're going to take Deputy Former in the second spot. In the third spot, we're going to go to Swingin' Cat, who may be your best option in here if this race is moved to dirt. Has a pretty decent wet track Tomlinson of 343, and is 2 for 3 in the exact on wet tracks. This one made a big late move in a big field last time to win in the slop. So a wet track would be a good thing for this fellow. We're going 5-7-6 at Sam Houston.
The old 11-year-old on top.
Oh, can you believe that?
Making start number 70.
How can you not love a horse like that?
There's a workhorse. 7th race today at Sam Houston, and allowance non-winners of 1 other than. These are 4-year-olds and up. They're going 1 mile and 70.
4, 1, and 2 in here. We're going to take Cats A-Smokin' on top. This one goes second off the bench, and improved showed improved speed off the layoff in the last start, and was clear of a next out winner in that race too. So that was a very good performance. And I'm a little bit concerned about when a horse shows a performance like that about getting a bounce, but we'll have a little bit of faith and keep our fingers crossed that Cats A-Smokin' will keep going here. This one also shows a good workout January 28th over the track. So we're gonna take Cats A-Smokin' on top and keep our fingers crossed that this one can keep going to the wire. In the second spot, we're going to Tis Now, My Choice, by one of my favorite sires, Tis Now. And this one has excellent wet track breeding, with Tis Now on top and out of a Rubiano. The dam is out of a Rubiano. Is out of a Rubiano. And in October, had a really good race in 1 mile and a 16th in the slop at 5-2. I would tread lightly with this entry. I think this entry is going to be overbet, but I'll play this one underneath. And in the third spot, FP Rains Lad, who has some decent allowance level efforts. Was non-threatening in the last race, but I'm a little concerned about this one's lifetime record, 1 for 26, 0 for 12 last year, so it hasn't won since I was a child, apparently. So we will go 4, 1, and 2 in the 7th at Sam Houston.
In the 8th at Sam Houston this afternoon, optional claiming event, claiming tags 20,000. The condition non-winners are 2 other than these are 4-year-olds and up, and they will go 1 mile and 70.
2, 1, and 3 in this race. My top pick is Tahoka, and this is one of these races where you look at the top of the form and you say no way, but if you take a closer look at the trouble lines, both those races were throwouts. Was beaten 33 lengths, losing all chance when hopping at the start, and then rushing up and pressing the pace last out. And 2 back had all sorts of trouble and had to rush up in that one too. So those 2, draw a line through them, done. And if you go back 3, 4, and 5 races, you will see really good buyers. 2 paired 90 buyers back 3 and 4. 3 or 4 races back at the non-winners of 1 level. So if you go back to those races and you toss the ones with trouble, I think this one has a really good shot, and you might actually get a price on him. In the 2nd spot, we're going to go to the 1 Big Scrape, who was doing a little archaeology again. If you go back 3 races on November 16th, this one went 1 mile and a 16th. It was 5 wide on the pace and still came up with a really game win. And then last race ran in a stake, didn't do anything, is back in the comfort zone class-wise, so we're going to put Big Scrape in the 2nd spot. In the 3rd spot, we're going to go to the 3 Real Appeal Deal, who comes back off a November layoff, and if you go, once again, archaeology, you go 3 back, this one made a huge move, made up 16 lengths from early in the race. And if this one can put in that kind of a late move again, this one could be trouble late. 2, 1, and 3 in the 8th at Sam Houston.
Race number 9 this afternoon is a maiden claimer, claiming tags at $10,000. These are fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. They will go 3/4 of a mile.
7, 5, and 1 in this race, and this is one of these sort of dartboard races. If you look at this 8-horse field, you'll see that they lost their last race by a combined 130 lengths, and that's never a sign that gives me a lot of confidence in anybody. I'm going to take Brit Superstar on top, who may be a little chalky. This one has a good wet track number, and in the last this one last started in October and made a pretty decent rally in that race, went off at 10-1, finished 3rd, beaten 5 lengths. But the thing that caught my eye is if you go back to January 25th, this one worked over the track, gave a bullet work, best of 21 over the track in the mud, and that could be the condition this one's running in today. So we're going to take Brit Superstar on top, and I think this one is hoping for a wet track today. For the 2nd spot, we're going to go to Sierra Princess, the 5, who takes the big class drop from maiden specials. Had a slow start in a big field last time, and I don't know. Once again, you just look at these, and I'm hoping the class drop will be enough, because 2 back, this horse finished 7th, beaten 8 lengths, and that was in the mud, and posted a whopping 11 buyer in that race. So we'll take the 5, Sierra Princess, in the 2nd spot. In the 3rd spot, we're going to go to Minnie Jewel, who gets the rail trip. It's 0 for 16. Some of the races aren't horrible. Last start, 14 buyer, but hey, there was an excuse there, and somebody has finished 3rd, so I think it's going to be Minnie Jewel. 7, 5, and 1 in the mighty 9th at Sam Houston.
I have been in the same place covering these Mondays and Tuesdays tracks. When you get some of these races where the best thing you can say is, some of these races haven't been horrible. Yeah,
I know.
I've been in exactly the same spot.
Yep.
The 10th and final today at Sam Houston, a conditional claiming event. Claiming tags of $15,000. The condition non-winners of 3 lifetime. These are 4-year-olds and up. Scheduled again, grass, mile and 16.
8, 1, and 6 for me in this race. I'm going to take Fleet Mitchie on top, who advances to the non-winners of 3 level off a pretty good effort last time out. Won chasing the pace and finally wore down the foe and got a 4.5 length victory in that one. Has been well bet in the last 2 starts, so somebody knows this horse is cranked up. So we're gonna take Fleet Mitchie on top and see this one maybe going all the way on the lead, especially on a wet track. The second spot, we're going to go to the 1 entry. Heisman is the 1A, and this one has terrific wet track breeding. Is by Distorted Humor out of an AP Indy mare, and folks, that's pretty darn good for a wet track. Has a 4:47 wet Tomlinson, takes a class drop after trying turf, and the turf effort wasn't too bad. Finished 6th, but only beaten 2 lengths. So we're going to see a decent effort today, I think, out of Heisman. And in the third spot, we are going to go to the 6 Heck of a Hit, who had some time off and last out got bet to 5-2 and made a decent late run. Has 1 race on the over this course and won it. So once again, somebody has to finish 3rd, and I think it's going to be Heck of a Hit. 8-1-6 in the 10th at Sam Houston.
That wraps us up for Sam Houston. We'll take our next break. When we come back, Turf Paradise. Stay tuned.
This is Steve Beck. Join me Tuesday through Saturday here on OTB TV for At the Races, my Sirius XM daily news magazine of the thoroughbred industry. Handicapping, interviews, analysis, everything you could want. 6 a.m. OTB TV.
Hey, race fans, head down to the all-new Clubhouse Racebook and get in the game. With live horse racing on more than 250 flat-screen TVs, state-of-the-art wagering terminals, fantastic food and drinks, an amazing Vegas-style atmosphere with seating for nearly 900 of your closest friends. Conveniently located at 711 Central Avenue, right off Exit 5 of I-90 in Albany, the Clubhouse Racebook is the better choice.
Each morning on the OTB TV network, you get the very best in horse racing programming. Weekdays begin with the Handicappers Report, where professional handicappers share their selections and analysis of the day's racing. Followed by Racing Across America, a daily conversation with racing personalities from around the country. Saturdays include Down the Stretch, where Mark Casano speaks with the biggest names in racing. And Sunday mornings, it's Loose on the Lead, where Steve Bick and I offer news and a unique lineup of weekly guests. All here on the OTB TV network.
Wagering at CapitalOTBBet.com is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Capital Bet TV, the fastest and easiest online wagering experience where you can monitor 5 different tracks simultaneously. 2. Capital Bet Express. Its straightforward program layout and interactive handicapping information lets you build your wager quickly and efficiently. And 3. Capital Bet Pro, designed especially for the professional horse player. CapitalOTBBet.com. Log on today.
Missed one of our TV shows? No worries. Now you can catch all your favorite programs online. Simply log on to CapitalOTB.com and click on the YouTube link at the bottom of the homepage. And look for our new podcast coming soon. CapitalOTB.com. Log on today.
Welcome back to Handicappers Report. I'm Mike Jarbo from the Times-Union. I am here with Seth Merrow of Equidaily.com. And Seth is about to give us some good words from Turf Paradise, where I assume it's a little bit warmer than it is here, and a lot warmer than it is at Parks, where I was supposed to look at, that's the track I was supposed to look at today, but instead we had to do a late switch and we went to Sam Houston. So, Seth, in the first at Turf Paradise, we're going 5.5 furlongs, looks like 3,500 claimers and non-winners of 3 lifetime, $6,000 purse, 4-year-olds and up. Seth, you're on.
I have it 7, 4, 5, and 6. The number 7 is Frisco Bound, and Frisco Bound attracts my attention just on the numbers. I have these horses every once in a while that I say have a clear buyer edge, and this one to me does have a clear buyer edge. You look at the last 3 races, 3 back was up at Golden Gate and then came down here to Turf Paradise. A couple of nice finishing positions, and a couple of solid buyer figures that I just think have an edge on this particular field. So I'm going to use the number 7, Frisco Bound on top. Second spot, I'm going to go with the number 4, Bold Aggressor. Just looks second best based on the latest effort. So, again, I think Frisco Bound has a buyer edge on most of these. I think you can find some nice back numbers for Bold Aggressor, but good numbers as opposed to the rest of this field. I think Frisco Bound has the clear edge, and Bold Aggressor, again, you look at that last effort, a nice buyer figure, the best recent buyer figure certainly for this horse, which also might show some good form right now. So again, Frisco Bound on the numbers, solid. Bold Aggressor just seems second best. Wise Boss in the 3rd spot. And this one does have some back numbers that I think match pretty well with Frisco Bound. But this horse was claimed last time, does drop, but the drop is maybe a little bit of a concern, and maybe just going back to the comfort zone, but it's a little bit of a head scratcher that they dipped in, picked this horse up for $5,000, come back for $3,500. And the trainer on the win end is a little bit cool at this meet. 43 starts according to the Racing Forum, only 1 win. Now it's been in the money another 10 times, but the scenario here, Wise Boss, I think, on best effort is going to be a real competitor. But the scenario here is just a little bit dicey for me. Goes to a lower percentage barn off the claim, drops, so it's a little bit of a head scratcher. Won't shock me if Wise Boss gets up and gets the job done in here, but I'm just, as I say, there's some question marks, so I put it a little bit down in my mix. So in the first race, 7, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, moving on to the second race at Turf Paradise today, we have 6 furlong contest, state-bred fillies, $13,400 allowance. Seth?
6, 5, 2, and 4. I will also note that the 7, the first-time starter, I didn't put this horse in my mix. And these races I tend to like looking at the first-time starters when you have horses that have had plenty of opportunity and haven't gotten it done. There was maybe a little bit of breeding here. There's a couple of works that say this number 7 All-Terrain Jane could be interesting. So watch the board. One way or the other, this horse will be interesting. If this horse starts to take some action, it's going to be interesting. But if it floats up at a price, I'll play it just on the fresh face angle. I couldn't use it in the mix, though, because the trainer is showing no stats whatsoever. Now, I pulled up the trainer's name, and I do believe he was training in years past at Turf Paradise and had some winners and whatnot, just maybe not recently. So also the trainer owns the horse. So for me, I'm wondering if this isn't a little bit of a put-over kind of a situation where the trainer comes in out of the blue and isn't showing any stats, maybe bumps the odds up a little bit. So I didn't use 7 in my mix, but I'm talking about it just so you know. Keep your eye on this one. All-Terrain Jane is going to be a little bit interesting. But I did use number 6 on top, Katie Pie. Katie Pie has a couple of nice starts since arriving at Turf Paradise. The numbers aren't that great, but the finishing position improved from start 1 to start 2 on the Southern California Invasion. So I think this horse is kind of getting some education over the track and could be primed to run well today. Katie Pie on top. Second spot, Have You Seen My Daddy? This horse has some nice early speed. I think got some education against limited winners last time. Broke the maiden 2 starts back. I've said it before. Sometimes these horses take a start or 2 just to get their feet wet against different competition as they move up class-wise. So I think the nice start against limited winners last time should have this one with the head screwed on properly today. And then I used the number 2, Bella Parvati. And I have to admit, we have our picks in normally before the races, the day before it went off. And I'm virtually certain Bella Parvati was entered yesterday. And so I'm not, and I don't remember whether this one, I remember it because I used it in my mix yesterday, but I don't remember if it ran or not. I'm thinking it probably did, or the scratch would have triggered in my mind. So Bella Parvati, if this one is in today, I think this horse might be better on turf, but does have some early speed on the dirt. That speed might hold up today. But again, Bella Pravati may be scratched. If that's so, move down to the number 4, Hannah, who I think off the last couple of starts is in some pretty good form right now. So I've got it. I have it 6, 5, 2, and 4. But again, I will mention that 7, the first-time starter, to me is going to be a little bit interesting. And given the way the odds shake out, I may throw this one into my mix as I wager this afternoon.
Okay, moving along to the third at Turf Paradise, we have state-bred fillies going 6 furlongs, maiden claimers, $5,000 tags for a $6,200 purse.
6, 7, 8, and 4. The number 6 is Bullish Endeavor, and here I did go for a first-time starter. This is just the fresh face in a weak field. It was one of those, you know, the other race I may have gone for All Terrain Jane if I just couldn't find anything to hang my hat on, but there was a couple in there that were a little bit interesting, so I could go in a different direction. This is just a weak field, and I think this horse has maybe a little bit of breeding. I couldn't find out a whole lot about either the sire or the dam, but there was enough there that just, okay. And then I went back to the December 1st bullet workout, the December 17th pretty good workout. And again, it's a weak field. This horse is not going to have to be a world beater by any means. So I'm going to take a little bit of a shot in here with number 6, Bullish Endeavor. Second spot, number 7, Mobile Bar. Again, this is a weak field with horses who have had plenty of opportunity, and this is a pretty lightly raced horse. Career debut was pretty good at an $8,000 tag. Showed some speed last time before fading badly against Better, but I think on the class drop in the third career start, Mobile Bar could be interesting. And then Oh So Golden. This is a long time loser. 23 career starts, 7 times in the money, but obviously no wins. But there's some back numbers there. When compared to this, a weak field, I think if this horse can fire one of those better numbers, Oh So Golden may have found a field today that perhaps she can get by. But again, I'm going to go with a little bit of the fresher face angle on top with a first-time starter and a third-time starter. And I'm going to use Bullish Endeavor and Mobile Bar, but it's one of those races where a little bit of anything can happen. I mean, as I say, this is a weak field where chaos could reign. But I have it 6, 7, 8, and 4.
And sometimes with those long price horses like that have all those starts, sometimes, like you said, the light bulb goes on and they can fill out a nice super or triple for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no question.
So once in a while you can get good value with that. Moving on to the fourth at Turf Paradise, we're going 6.5 furlongs, maiden claimers 8 to 7, going for a $6,400 purse.
3, 5, 6, and 7, and this is another one where there's a horse in there that I didn't use, but I'll mention the number 1, Red Hot Shot. The venue and class relief in here, venue relief from Pimlico and Charlestown and some class relief on the claiming tag. Charlestown was a couple of maiden specials. Red Hot Shot should offer some value and might be interesting, a high percentage trainer. I didn't pull the trigger on the numbers, but that's one I'm going to look at again. In this race, so I did go with the first-time starter again. Add some alcohol. This horse could be a little bit interesting. Purim on top. The dam produced a sibling called She's Golden that was second in the career debut at 9 to 1. Took a few starts to win, but the second in the debut showed a little bit of precociousness. Had another sibling called Sunnybrook that was second in the career debut, 7th, and then 1 in the third career start. If they win within those first 3, I consider them precocious. But another sibling called Tamarin that won the career debut at 8 to 1. So I think there's some nice precociousness on the bottom. A higher percentage trainer, a trainer who can get it done first time out of the box. I think there's maybe a little more nature than nurture here, but I think both are at work. I'll take a shot with the number 3, add some alcohol. Second spot, the number 5, Perfect Magic Man, goes out for one of the top trainers at the meet, Robertino Diodoro. Gets some venue and price class relief in here, coming in after racing against Better in Southern California. And then in the third spot, the number 6, Attempt, again, gets that venue relief coming in from Southern California. So we'll throw this one into the mix as well. There's another first-time starter in here. Took a look at that one, and I'll just tell you, if you're somebody who's also interested in first-time starters, I didn't think there was much nurture here. The trainer not necessarily known to get him ready first time out of the box with the number 8, Victory for C. And the dam produced a sibling called Woo, who in 26 career starts did not have a win. So I couldn't pull the trigger on the number 8 as a first-time starter, but I did go with the number 3, Add Some Alcohol. And in fact, I'm going to do a play of the day in here. I'm going to do a win place on my top pick, the number 3. And I will do a 4-horse exacta box, but I'm going to tread lightly. And I'll also say, add the 1. If one of mine scratches, pull the 1 into the mix. And that's why I'm treading lightly, because the 1 does scare me. So I'll do a win place on my top pick, the number 3. I'll box up 3, 5, 6, and 7 in an exacta. And if one of those scratches, pull the 1 into the mix as well.
Let me get my wallet out.
Yeah, and your
Yeah,
calculator.
I'm ready to go to the
That one's
window.
complicated.
Okay, in the 5th at Turf Paradise, we're going about a mile in the turf, 4-year-olds and up, $10,000 claimers with non-winners of 2 lifetime condition for an $8,500 purse.
And this one's going to be a 3-horse exacta play of the day. And take a look at the value. I'm not sure it's going to hold up exactly. Maybe go a little stronger on the 2 you like or something. But I'm going to box up my top 3 in here. 2, 6, 5, and 7. The number 2 is Brenda's Bar. Just in some very good form right now. The buyer figures are moving in the right direction and has some top connections. Diodoro and Scott Stevens, certainly, trainer and jockey going very, very well at the meet. I think class-wise fits in good form. Brenda's Bar is going to be very, very logical. Second spot, we will go out to the number 6, Get Moving. Last time, this horse was just behind my top pick. So if I like the top pick, kind of have to like this one. This is 3rd start off the layoff. We might get an even better run in here today. So Get Moving attracts my attention on a few of those angles. And then Rises East, Sets West, the number 5 horse, also in the mix because this one was just behind my top pick and second pick. They were 3 in a row in that race last time, so you kind of like one. If you like one, have to like the other 2, I think. And again, this is a horse on the numbers, also fits in and amongst the top 3. So I think these 3, to me, have a little bit of an edge on the rest of the field. And again, that's why I say look at the value. I'm sure the betting public will see that as well. And it just may be, you box up the 3, and to get the value out of it, you may have to go a little stronger on maybe key the top one over the next 2, or box up a little stronger on the 2 you favor in here. But I'll box up my top 3 in here with a play of the day exacta box, 2, 6, 5, and 7.
Sounds good to me. That brings us to a break. We'll be right back with more of Seth from Turf Paradise right after a few messages.
I'm Steve Beck.
And I'm Seth Merrill.
Together, we're Loose on the Lead on Capital OTB, Sundays at 10 a.m. Why should they watch, Seth?
Sit down on Sunday, have a bagel, get some great racing conversation.
Cream cheese only, no jelly. Sundays, 10 a.m., Loose on the Lead, Capital OTB.
Using CapitalOTBBet.com is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Simply log on with your username and password from the homepage. 2. Fund your Capital OTB account through our Easy Money, Green Dot, or Visa MasterCard options. And 3. Place your bet on one of our 3 easy-to-navigate wagering platforms, Capital Bet TV, Capital Bet Express, or Capital Bet Pro. CapitalOTBBet.com. Log on today.
Here in upstate New York, no one provides bettors with more wagering options than Capital OTB. Our network of branch and easy bet locations stretches from the mid-Hudson Valley all the way to the Canadian border and west to central New York. So whether you need to place a bet, fund your Capital Bets account, or watch the next big race, all the action is just around the corner. A full list of our branch and easy bet locations can be found online at CapitalOTB.com. Capital OTB, the better and most convenient choice for wagering in upstate New York.
The Capital OTB Handicapping Challenge Series is back. That's right. The 2014 Capital OTB Handicapping Challenge Series is back, and it's your chance to win thousands in cash and prizes, and a seat at the 2015 Handicapping Championship in Las Vegas. This month's contest is the Shamrock Showdown on March 1st. So sign up today, online at CapitalOTB.com, or stop in at the Clubhouse Racebook.
I'm Mark Cassano. Join me Saturday mornings at 10 for Down the Stretch. We'll inform, analyze, and welcome in the biggest names in racing. So join me Saturday mornings at 10 for Down the Stretch, right here on the OTB television network.
Welcome back to Handicappers Report. I'm Mike Jarbo of the Times-Union. I'm here with Seth Merrill of Equidaily.com, and Seth is giving us some good advice from Turf Paradise today. We're moving on to the 6th race at Turf Paradise. We have 6 furlong contest claimers, $3,000. Non-winners at 2 since August 4th. Calendar condition going for a $6,000 purse.
And I didn't say at the top of the show, results from yesterday. I think it was 2 winners on top in 9 races, I think. And I only called 1 play of the day yesterday. It was one of those. And I'm just pulling up my form from yesterday because I wanted to mention the horse, if I could find it quickly. Caring in the 4th race yesterday. I had a win place on that one in an exacta box. It was a first-time starter from the top trainer, Robertino Diodoro. And if you go back and watch that 4th race, try to figure out what jockey Amy Poole was up to. And I'm wondering if they were trying to pull one over, because the horse, with Diodoro training, you're expecting the odds to float down, 8-1 on the morning line, but that pretty much held up. And I think Caring was live first time out of the box. But the jockey, who does not ride very often for Diodoro, I think they put the jockey on maybe to hold the price out. I don't know what the story was exactly, but she, coming around the turn, she got into all kinds of trouble. And I think the horse wound up running a decent 4th, was probably better than that. So I had 1 play yesterday, and I wasn't really happy with the way things shook out there. But again, I think it was 2 for 9 overall winners on top. But there were a lot of my other horses in the mix. It was a day that, it was kind of treading water a little bit. But overall, if you played around, it was worthwhile. This afternoon at Turf Paradise, again in their 6th, 8, 5, 2, and 4. The number 8 horse is Desert Lightning, just getting some class relief, and some serious class relief. 8,000 tag last time, couple of starters at the 10 and 7, going 2 and 3 starts back, comes for a $3,000 tag today. I think on the class relief, Desert Lightning is going to be very tough. Just seems to be a solid fit in here for the number 5, Wildcat Energy. This horse has been racing in some 3,000 calendar conditions at the same condition as this race. Last time out, 5th. But the 2 starts just before that were pretty good, and I think are more indicative of what we'll get today. White Shield, the top apprentice out there, back on board today. And number 2, Zoe's Cajun. Nice win last time, and it was a win in essentially the same condition. How does this one win in the same calendar condition and come right back? Well, it was disqualified from the purse money last time, so is allowed to come right back. So won in a similar event last time, should be live in here again today. In the 6th, 8, 5, 2, and 4.
Okay, moving on to the 7th at Turf Paradise. We're going a mile, $3,000 beaten claimers for a $6,000 purse.
8, 9, 1, and 7. The number 8 is Doc Tab. Just seems to be in some good form the last couple of races. Pretty solid buyer figures as in comparison to the rest of this field. 2 starts back a second, last time out a win. So again, the numbers and the finishing positions say Doc Tab is in very good form right now. 2nd spot, we will go with Kern River. Got some education over the track last time. Made the venue class relief move from Northern California to Turf Paradise, but did not live up to that move, running kind of a disappointing 5th. But the track sometimes, just going track to track, horses will take a start or 2 to figure it out a little bit. I think this horse is probably better than we saw last time, and as noted, should benefit from the race over the track. And then the number 1, Awesome Year. Okay, try when dropped to this level last time, had been racing at 4,000, 2 starts back, then 8, then 10. So over the last few months is getting some nice class relief at this 3 level. And as noted, we had a good 3rd in a similar race last time, so should be up in the hunt again today. In the 7th, 8, 9, 1, and 7.
Okay, in the 8th at Turf Paradise, we're going about a mile on the turf. We have 4-year-olds and up. $10,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 lifetime, going for an $8,500 purse.
8, 2, 6, and 9. Man, I'm just noticing now. I didn't notice the handicap, and I'm hoping for a big 8 day today. I'm hoping that 8 hole is red hot. But Serengani, the number 8 horse in here, just Robertino Diodoro is training. This horse came in from Southern California and has a couple of starts since then at Turf Paradise. 2 starts back on the dirt in Allowance Company, an okay 4th, then shifted over to the turf last time and ran an even better 3rd. Sticks on the turf today. A little bit of a layoff, but again, kind of hanging my hat a lot on the top trainer. I think Serengani will be competitive today. 2nd spot, we're going to go with the number 2, Scorpion Boy. Gets that venue class relief, coming in most recently from the Niver circuit. You don't see that very often. Had been in the barn of Gary Gullo, now moves out to the barn of Mike Chambers, a high percentage trainer out there. Bullet workout coming into this. I think it all adds up to say Scorpion Boy is going to be in the hunt. And then the number 6, Painted Slew, goes in for a tag today. Has been an allowance company pretty much all the way down the page. Drops in for that 10 tag today, adds the blinkers, gets white shield. I think things kind of add up to say Painted Slew will be a contender in the 8th. So race number 8, 2, 6, and 9.
As soon as you said Scorpion Boy, I thought Gary Gallo. I thought, what the heck is Scorpion Boy doing in Arizona? Okay, in the 9th, the finale at Turf Paradise, we have maiden claimers, fillies going 5 furlongs for a $5,000 tag.
5, 8, 6, and 1. And again, the 1 in here is down in my mix, but it's a first-time starter. There just wasn't enough breeding, it wasn't enough nature or nurture, really, for me to pull the trigger. But this is another first-time starter. Keep your eyes on this one. I think that bullet workout may indicate this horse is going to be well-meant today. So Sin City City is one I have in my mix, but I may regret not moving it up more. And so, again, take a second look at that one. But I do have on top Shamefully Sinful. This horse, over the past few starts, shown some good form. A decent 4th last time, but before that, a 3rd and a couple of nice second-place finishes since arriving at Turf Paradise. Should go well again today. Lightly race number 8, Whips and Leather, comes in from Northern California and is getting some venue and price class relief. And then Heaven's Bargain, the number 6 horse, ran a really nice race at this level last time. So just seems to maybe kind of be figuring it out now. In the 9th, I have it 5, 8, 6, and 1. All of which brings us to the conclusion of the Handicappers Report for this Tuesday morning. We took a look at Turf Paradise and Sam Houston, as again, Parks is canceled for today, but on the network you'll be able to watch Monticello, Beulah, Sam Houston, Turf Paradise, Sunland Park, Western Fair, Dover Downs, Northfield, and Yonkers Raceway. So Parks is out of the mix. Still plenty of action, though.
You know what, Seth? Every week now we're getting more and more viewers tuning in just to see what I can do to Parks.
See which whammy you can put on it. But don't forget, if you didn't get our selections today, you can go on over to capitalotb.com, pull up the Handicappers Report via the link right there on the right-hand side of the page. Also, sign up and become a member of Capital Wagering accounts, and you can go over to capitalotbbet.com and use our state-of-the-art wagering platform. It's easy, and again, it's state-of-the-art. A lot of bells and whistles there. Make wagering via your computer, sitting in your living room, fun and easy. Don't forget, lots of nice events coming up here at Capital OTB in the month of February. If you go to capitalotb.com, you can see a list of those. There's some fan appreciation days, knockout challenge, bank rolls, a lot of nice events, as I say, coming up either online or here at the Clubhouse Racebook. Also, some of those fan appreciation days are out at the various branches. So again, check it out, capitalotb.com. That's going to wrap things up for the Handicappers Report for this Tuesday morning. Seth Merrow and Mike Jaro. Again, hopefully we gave out some good information, so cash some tickets this afternoon. Stay tuned. Up next, Racing Across America.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off Track Betting.